Sophia had recently welcomed a beautiful baby girl named Maya, cradling her closely in her arms. The gentle rhythm of her daughter's heartbeat provided a soothing balm to the tumult of emotions swirling within her. Beside her stood Leo, the man whose sperm had inadvertently been used in the fertility treatment, his expression a mixture of wonder and affection. This moment offered a rare tranquility, a fleeting respite from the turmoil that had engulfed them since Sophia discovered her pregnancy. However, tranquility was a scarce commodity in Sophia's life. Throughout her pregnancy, her parents had been unyielding, pressuring her to terminate the pregnancy and insisting it was a mistake that would jeopardize her future. They claimed that Sophia was bringing disgrace to their family by choosing to keep the child, disregarding the fact that she was carrying Leo's baby. Their primary concern was their reputation and the opinions of others. Despite her attempts to explain and make them understand that the situation was not her fault, they remained deaf to her pleas. The relentless pressure took a toll on her, and her mother had even threatened that if Sophia decided to keep the baby, she would be disowned. Those words cut deeply, yet they only strengthened Sophia's resolve to follow her own convictions. After the birth, her parents reiterated their ultimatum: she could not return home with the baby. They had harassed her throughout her pregnancy to terminate the child, and now they insisted that the situation had escalated beyond acceptable limits. Her father's stern voice echoed in her mind as he declared that they could not accept such shame. With no support and nowhere else to turn, Sophia made the difficult decision she had previously resisted: she called Leo. She had always prided herself on managing this unexpected journey independently, but with her back against the wall and her parents abandoning her, she felt she had no alternative. When Leo answered the phone, concern was evident in his voice even before she spoke. "Sophia, what's going on? Are you okay?" he inquired, his tone filled with worry. Filled with apprehension about their acceptance, she expressed her fears to Leo. "They said I can't return home with Maya. I am at a loss for what to do," she admitted, her voice quivering. A brief silence followed before Leo responded, his tone gentle yet resolute. "Come stay with me. I remember urging you to move in with me, you and Maya. You do not have to face this alone." Sophia paused momentarily, contemplating his offer, before ultimately agreeing. She began to pack her belongings, uncertain of what lay ahead but placing her trust in Leo's promise. Although her thoughts were still clouded with confusion, she resolved to reclaim her life from her parents' influence. It was time to shape her own destiny. Upon her arrival, Leo embraced her warmly, and as she settled into his home, a long-lost sense of tranquility began to envelop her. He ensured that she and Maya had everything they required, treating them both with exceptional care and unwavering support, never questioning her choices. His residence, once a sanctuary for a man who possessed everything except true fulfillment, now radiated the warmth of home. Sophia observed the affection Leo displayed towards Maya, recognizing the love and tenderness in his gaze. It became evident that Leo was evolving into more than just a supportive figure; he was stepping into the role of a father. Despite the obstacles she faced, Sophia found comfort in Leo's steadfast presence. He was not without flaws, but he had emerged as a reliable and nurturing force in her life, everything her parents had failed to be: understanding, patient, and kind. The sensation of being cared for in such a manner was unfamiliar yet soothing, allowing Sophia to gradually release her anxieties within the safety of his home. Moreover, Leo recognized the significance of Sophia's education, especially since she had paused her studies due to her unexpected pregnancy. He took the initiative to facilitate her transfer to a prestigious private university, providing her with the opportunity to complete her degree and begin constructing her future. Sophia was astounded by the profound impact Leo had on her life and the extent of his generosity towards her. Sophia, without any expectations of receiving anything in return, adapted to her new life. She dedicated herself to her studies, worked diligently, and ultimately graduated with honors. Leo took immense pride in her accomplishments and celebrated her success in a manner that Sophia had never experienced before. He organized a grand party to commemorate the occasion, inviting his affluent friends, influential figures from the business sector, and members of the media. The story quickly gained traction, and Sophia found herself unexpectedly in the limelight. Rather than being the subject of negative gossip, she was lauded as a young woman who had triumphed over significant challenges and emerged stronger. Throughout this journey, Leo remained by her side, proud of her fortitude and resilience. They had endured much together, and as they contemplated their future, Sophia began to feel a sense of hope that was previously unknown to her. Life with Leo was not without its imperfections, but it was genuine and marked the beginning of something beautiful. However, not everyone shared in their happiness. Annabelle, Leo's ex-wife, was infuriated upon seeing Leo publicly embrace Sophia. She could not bear the thought of Leo moving on with another woman, particularly one so much younger. Annabelle had always been the focal point of Leo's life, and the prospect of losing that dominance filled her with rage. Although she had been the one to leave him and had never desired children, the public attention on Leo and Sophia as they forged a life together was intolerable for her. Annabelle was resolute in her determination to disrupt their happiness. Behind the scenes, she began to devise her next strategy, intent on sabotaging everything for Leo and Sophia. If she could not have Leo, then no one would, and if he had truly moved on, she would ensure that he regretted ever loving Sophia. With connections in the tech industry, Annabelle knew individuals capable of making things vanish or fabricating evidence. It was through the assistance of a tech associate that she initiated her plans. Annabelle requested that he create a video that would be sufficiently convincing to tarnish Sophia's reputation. The strategy was straightforward: fabricate evidence suggesting that Sophia had deliberately exchanged her medical file with the Saget, thereby implying that she had deceived Leo into fathering her child solely for financial gain. The technician, highly skilled in his field, promptly set to work on the video. It depicted Sophia entering the hospital with an air of suspicion as she swapped her medical records with another file. The footage appeared remarkably authentic, so much so that anyone who viewed it would be inclined to believe it. To exacerbate the situation, Annabelle instructed him to generate fabricated text messages and voice recordings of Sophia conversing with her closest friend about her alleged scheme to ensnare Leo. This portrayal painted Sophia as a desperate and manipulative individual solely interested in his wealth. Once the video and recordings were completed, Annabelle kept them hidden, biding her time for the opportune moment to unleash them. She was aware that if she released the material at the right time, it would profoundly unsettle Leo and obliterate Sophia's newly established life. All she needed was to wait for the ideal opportunity. Meanwhile, Leo and Sophia's relationship continued to flourish. Leo found himself falling more deeply in love with her each day, appreciating the way she cared for Maya and embraced motherhood with such warmth and affection. It became evident to Leo that Sophia was not merely a young woman seeking a shortcut to riches; she was genuine and embodied everything he had ever desired. One evening, after a quiet dinner, Leo took a deep breath and broached a subject he had long contemplated. "Sophia, I have been reflecting on our relationship. I care for you more than I have for anyone else, and I wish to be with you. Will you be my girlfriend?" Sophia paused momentarily, as she had never been one to rush into relationships. The past few years had been tumultuous, filled with numerous challenges, leaving her uncertain about fully opening her heart again. However, she recognized the authenticity in Leo's gaze, the same authenticity that had supported her through numerous challenges. "I don't want it to seem like I'm taking advantage of you," she said softly, her voice laced with doubt. "I don't want others to believe I'm only interested in your wealth or your position." Leo reached across the table, gently grasping her hand. "Sophia, I am indifferent to that. I do not care about public opinion, I care about you. Maya cares about you. We are creating something meaningful together, and I want you to be officially part of it." Sophia paused, contemplating for an extended moment, but something in Leo's words and his gentle touch provided her with reassurance. Gradually, she nodded. "Okay, I will be your girlfriend." Leo's face brightened with joy, and for a fleeting moment, it felt as though everything was finally aligning for both of them. He had achieved everything he had ever desired: a loving partner, a beautiful daughter, and the prospect of a family he had once deemed unattainable. As time went on, Leo and Sophia became more open about their relationship, attending events together, and Sophia began to appear more often by Leo's side. The media was captivated by them, and blogs buzzed with speculation regarding the nature of their relationship. Was this merely a casual romance, or was it something deeper? Leo remained unfazed by the rumors. He felt no shame in his affection for Sophia. When a presenter at a gala inquired about his relationship with her, Leo responded with a beaming smile, openly expressing his feelings. Yes, he stated proudly, Sophia and I are in a healthy relationship. I am happy with her, and I am delighted with the family we are building. The news spread rapidly, with Leo and Sophia becoming prominent figures in tabloids, on television, and across social media platforms. However, what should have been a joyous time for them soon spiraled into a nightmare. Annel, who had been biding her time for the perfect opportunity, finally made her move. That evening, while Leo and Sophia were celebrating their achievements at a private dinner, Annel sent fabricated videos and text messages to the top 3 blogs in the city, doing so anonymously. Sophia had disappeared without a trace, leaving Leo in a state of confusion and despair. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air, leaving only the fragments of a broken relationship in her wake. While the world continued its relentless pace, Leo felt as though time had come to a standstill. His love for Sophia remained unwavering, and the anguish of her abrupt absence tormented him daily. The notion that she might have left him on purpose was a thought he could not bear. He understood Sophia's heart and could not fathom that she would orchestrate such a departure. Yet, the fabricated evidence, the videos, the messages, the voice recordings, was so compelling that it ensnared him in a web of doubt. The world had turned against her, and Leo found himself compelled to accept the narrative presented to him. Maya, too, felt the void left by Sophia. The once vibrant little girl now spent her days inquiring about her mother, her innocent eyes brimming with hope as she asked Leo when Mommy would return. He had no answers to provide. All he could do was assure her that they would locate her mother, even though he was at a loss for where to start. Leo had become a mere shadow of his former self, a man who had once been filled with energy, ambition, and optimism, now trudging through life burdened by an overwhelming heaviness. His work, which had previously occupied his mind, now held no significance, and the emptiness within him felt insurmountable. In an attempt to escape his pain, he turned to alcohol, drinking more than he ever had to dull the heartache of losing Sophia and the agony of feeling powerless against the world's accusations. Annabelle, who had previously kept her distance, began to play a more prominent role in Leo's life. This was not due to any lingering affection for her. Leo had long since moved on from their marriage. However, she had taken on the responsibilities of a mother for Maya, and Leo could not deny that her involvement made life somewhat more manageable. Maya needed a maternal figure, and despite their complicated history, Annabelle had stepped up, caring for Maya and assuming the role of a devoted stepmother, all while maintaining the facade that everything was normal. Leo was acutely aware that his feelings for Annabelle had long since faded. Their marriage had effectively ended well before their separation. However, Maya required a sense of stability, and Annabelle, with her manipulative charm, was eager to provide it. She adeptly assumed the role of a devoted mother, attending school events, picking Maya up from daycare, and presenting the facade of a perfect family. Yet, Leo could perceive that Annabelle was exploiting Maya as a means to an end. She was gradually feeding the media narratives suggesting that she and Leo had reconciled, portraying themselves as a reunited family. The blogs began to circulate this false narrative, but Annabelle remained indifferent. She was achieving her goal of re-entering Leo's life and convincing the world of their supposed family unity. This situation left Leo feeling nauseated. He had never desired this outcome, yet as time progressed, he felt increasingly trapped. The media pressure was unrelenting, probing into his relationship with Annabelle, speculating about the future of his business, and distorting every aspect of his personal life. Leo had never sought the limelight, but it had become inescapable. Annabelle had skillfully reinserted herself into his life, and the public was buying into her narrative. Nevertheless, Leo could not shake the profound emptiness he felt. Each day was a battle, and alcohol became his refuge, though it could not fill the void left by Sophia's absence. His only source of comfort was Maya, who was growing up and increasingly resembling her mother. Yet, the absence of Sophia was palpable. Maya would draw pictures of a woman with long dark hair and bright eyes, asking, "Is this mommy?" Each time, Leo had to respond with a painful no, fully aware that Maya would never truly know her mother. The child he had envisioned raising alongside Sophia was now being brought up without her. Leo's efforts to locate Sophia continued, but they were in vain. She had vanished, and he was compelled to navigate a life without her. Although Annabelle's presence, though unwelcome, made certain aspects of life easier, the passage of time only deepened his sense of loss. Leo was acutely aware that his feelings for Annabelle had long since faded. Their marriage had effectively ended well before their separation. However, Maya required a sense of stability, and Annabelle, with her manipulative charm, was eager to provide it. She adeptly assumed the role of a devoted mother, attending school events, picking Maya up from daycare, and presenting the facade of a perfect family. Yet, Leo could perceive that Annabelle was exploiting Maya as a means to an end. She was gradually feeding the media narratives suggesting that she and Leo had reconciled, portraying themselves as a reunited family. The blogs began to circulate this false narrative, but Annabelle remained indifferent. She was achieving her goal of re-entering Leo's life and convincing the world of their supposed family unity. This situation left Leo feeling nauseated. He had never desired this outcome, yet as time progressed, he felt increasingly trapped. The media pressure was unrelenting, probing into his relationship with Annabelle, speculating about the future of his business, and distorting every aspect of his personal life. Leo had never sought the limelight, but it had become inescapable. Annabelle had skillfully reinserted herself into his life, and the public was buying into her narrative. Nevertheless, Leo could not shake the profound emptiness he felt. Each day was a battle, and alcohol became his refuge, though it could not fill the void left by Sophia's absence. His only source of comfort was Maya, who was growing up and increasingly resembling her mother. Yet, the absence of Sophia was palpable. Maya would draw pictures of a woman with long dark hair and bright eyes, asking, "Is this mommy?" Each time, Leo had to respond with a painful no, fully aware that Maya would never truly know her mother. The child he had envisioned raising alongside Sophia was now being brought up without her. Leo's efforts to locate Sophia continued, but they were in vain. She had vanished, and he was compelled to navigate a life without her. Although Annabelle's presence, though unwelcome, made certain aspects of life easier, the passage of time only deepened his sense of loss. Struggling to comprehend the information, Leo questioned the meaning of the term "fabricated." How could he be certain that the lawyer was telling the truth? The lawyer leaned forward, his tone steady yet grave. "I located the technician responsible for the videos. He admitted everything. He was hired by someone intent on ruining your relationship. It was not Sophia, Leo. It was Annabelle who orchestrated this entire scheme." The revelation struck Leo with overwhelming force, shattering everything he had believed. His anguish, his fury, his heartbreak, all had been founded on a deception. The woman he had loved, the one he thought had betrayed him, was innocent. Conversely, the individual who had feigned support, manipulating the media and portraying herself as the ideal mother, was the one who had dismantled his happiness. Leo sat in stunned silence, his thoughts racing as he grappled with the magnitude of this discovery. Annabelle had been the mastermind behind it all, fabricating false evidence to implicate Sophia. Her intent had been to drive them apart, ensuring that no one could ever replace her in Leo's life. "Are you certain?" Leo finally inquired, his voice thick with skepticism. "Is this really true?" The lawyer affirmed, "I have everything documented from the technician, and he is prepared to testify that this was all Annabelle's doing." Leo's hand shook as he rose from his chair. "I must find her. I need to apologize," he declared, his voice resolute. The lawyer placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You will, Leo, but exercise caution. Annabelle is still manipulating the situation and will not relinquish her control easily." Leo was undeterred. He had to locate Sophia and rectify the situation. Meanwhile, Sophia had spent the past 3 years reconstructing her life, retreating from the world to escape the pain and public scrutiny. The falsehoods that had been propagated about her had left her shattered, and for a long time, she had believed there was no path back. However, as the truth began to emerge, she felt the burdens of her past starting to lift. Sophia remained unaware that Leo was actively searching for her. She had distanced herself, convinced that their relationship had been merely a figment of her imagination. However, as the truth began to surface, she pondered the possibility of rekindling what they had once shared. For Leo, there was no doubt that he would locate Sophia. He was determined to rectify the past. He initiated his search with earnestness, first consulting the lawyer who had revealed the truth, hoping to uncover any leads that might indicate her location. Leo was oblivious to where she had gone or the life she had constructed during their years apart, yet he felt an urgent need to find her. Meanwhile, Sophia had been leading a tranquil life, far removed from the turmoil that had once engulfed her. After withdrawing from the public eye, she settled in a small, serene town where she could live discreetly. Maintaining a low profile, she worked at a local cafe. Although Sophia had never ceased to love Leo, she had convinced herself that their love was a fabrication and that he had moved on the moment the false evidence shattered their lives. The anguish of losing him lingered in her heart, and each day she grappled with the question of whether she could ever trust him again. She had managed to create a life without him, but that did not erase the memories of what they could have built together. She missed him, she missed Maya's father. Occasionally, when loneliness enveloped her, she would wonder if he was still searching for her, if he still cared. Yet, she had resolved to stop waiting. One day, as she was leaving work, she spotted a familiar figure across the street. Her heart raced. It was Leo. She could hardly believe her eyes. Was it truly him after all this time? She halted abruptly, her breath catching in her throat as she observed him approaching. Sophia regarded him with a blend of disbelief and uncertainty. "Leo, how did you find me?" she asked. "I never stopped looking for you," he replied, his voice heavy with emotion. The notion of having him back in her life had seemed nearly unattainable, yet a part of her continued to harbor love for him, yearning for the family they had nearly formed. "I am uncertain if we can return to what we once had," Sophia expressed, her voice quivering, "but I am prepared to make the effort for Maya, for us." Leo's expression brightened with a blend of relief and happiness as he reached out to embrace her, holding her close as if he never wished to release her. "Thank you," he murmured, "thank you for granting me this opportunity." As they stood entwined in each other's arms, the burdens of the past began to dissipate. The pain, confusion, and betrayal still lingered, yet they no longer defined their relationship. They were afforded a second chance, a chance to forge a new future together. Thus, they embarked on this journey anew, taking their time to rebuild trust and reconstruct the family they had once envisioned. Maya, who had yearned for her parents to reunite, finally experienced the family she had always desired. Leo dedicated himself to proving his worth, not only to Sophia but also to himself. Acknowledging the need for atonement, he was resolute in his commitment to fight for their shared future. Although Sophia's parents remained cautious, they gradually came to accept the situation. Witnessing the love between their daughter and Leo, they softened over time, recognizing that Sophia had made her own decisions. Initially reluctant, they began to embrace the family she had created. Ultimately, Leo and Sophia rediscovered their connection, confronting the challenges of their past together. They learned that love encompassed not only joyous moments, but also the trials they faced, choosing one another regardless of the circumstances. Standing hand in hand, they realized that their narrative was not solely one of sorrow and betrayal, it was a tale of redemption, healing, and fresh beginnings.